to Montana and back. And for the most part, at least 2 children and at least 2 parents. But there was one trip that it was 3 parents, 4 kids, 2 horses, a dog, and a hamster. Wow. Yeah. This was not that trip. This was not that trip. There's a poem about that trip earlier on. But this particular trip was the trip right before my grandmother passed away, and it's called On the Shores of Gitche Gumee. The van broke down in Michigan, ruining everything. We waited, eating pasties by Lake Itchy Booby, mad to go, in a hurry to reach Montana where death lay taunting us. The groundskeeper hated us for staying so long as kids running around unattended, hot water gone in the showers. Over Lake Superior we saw Aurora Borealis dancing, so beautiful, like a ball of angels. We began to cry. The rush was over. We'd said goodbye. And just because I was just talking about it, this poem is called Perhaps She Meant Hippies, and it's a poem based upon events that happened on the trip with the 3 grown-ups, 4 kids, 2 horses, 1 dog, and a hamster named Hamsterdam. Hamsterdam. Upon a girlish Noah in a North Dakota campground, her menagerie peeks through minivan windows as she struggles with the tents. Suddenly a voice from the yard squeaks, "Look at all the hickeys!" Roaring from the dark abyss, they see coming 2 by 2 the wrong kind of angels. The smell of burnt fuel like brimstone hits her as Old Red, barking, jumps from the window. The girls pile out after him, excited and giddy, watching what seems like thousands of them galloping up on apocalyptic hogs. Calmly, some descend to take the poles from her hands and pitch tents at her direction, while others offer the girls, too mesmerized by the sight to return to the van, shelter under black leather, silver buckles and chains flashing in the headlights. Tail now wagging, Red jumps into a sidecar as Harry Sarahs make funny faces, causing little girls to giggle, even putting Mama Noah at her ease as she accepts offerings of candy bars and cokes like manna. Then shrugging off thanks, they speed off again in a blaze of light, while the wind watches the darkness wrap back around her little family, and she knows now she will never be alone. There are poems in this particular section about being a daughter and being a child, and the relationships within the family. But there are also poems about the relationships with your friends, how those change, going from elementary school to high school, things like that. And this particular poem is one of the ones that kind of makes that transition from elementary school to high school, and how relationships can change within a year, within a month, within a week. It's called The Practical Art of the Lady Centaur. The trick is to buy the extra large backpack from the LL Bean catalog, one without wheels, and to pack it deep with gym clothes, leaving the books to stick out the sides, giving the appearance of weight. Curve your back just enough so he notices your chest is not as full as he remembers rolling around last night in the hay outside his parents' barn. Sighs only he can hear. Do not ask. Asking implies he has no choice but to slip the straps from your shoulders, add your burden to his own. He must believe in his youth, that is, the choice to become a pack mule is his, that it makes him a man and not a slave to accept the bit of someone else's happiness. When you are the old gray, the brood sent out to pasture, while your stallion chases fillies, remember holding his hand and flicking your ponytail braid.
I saw.
And this is another one. 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 This is You know, there are poems about the transition sort of from elementary school to high school. This is more a transition from high school into college, and the first sort of taste of independence one gets. It's called For Melissa. Remember speeding up and down Ocean Avenue in my flaming Volvo, playing chicken with those boys, jumping the barrier to trap them at the Quickie Mart, batting our eyes behind the Slurpee machine, following them home. Angie followed the cute one from the front door to the bathroom, and we were left with the boozer and the surfer boy, shells strung around his neck, eyes like waves crashing. The night before, we traded your petite scarf for my pale peasant blouse now hanging from your shoulders, sensuous as a nightgown against your cherry skin. Okay, this is the last one from this section that I think I'm going to read. It's more a piece of flash fiction than a poem, although I guess you could sort of call it a prose poem as well. One of the things that I like to do is play with form, and play with different ideas and kind of ride that really fine line between poetry and prose, and this one does that quite well. It's called March to Sunday School in March. February can bring even the most faithful to the brink of suicide. But now it's the yellow team versus the purple. There is no good versus evil here. The congregation knows there are others who spread hate and death in Jesus' name. They will put their ties and their time into another year of spreading love and life instead. Bible drills, swords up, the rush of knowing something useful, where a lesser prophet falls between Psalms and Malachi. Extra points if you bring a friend to Bible or canned food for the shelter downtown. Marcia feeds on the frenetic energy as third graders write out thank you notes to soldiers and firemen with glittery pink pens. And the youth pastor challenges the head deacon to a little game of one-on-one in the gym. It's a little man-made sunshine while spring unfolds the pages between gray sky and blue, brown earth to green. She needs it. She needs these people she left for college, where the world sucked the life out of her faith. She's come back now to pry a little bit back, tying a purple scarf around her neck, applying the least trimmy shade of red her makeup kit has to offer to her lips. It's possible the youth pastor may like her, just a little. Her mother keeps hinting this might be so. Folks that have been huddling around their wood stoves for months and jumping up, hollering Bible verses they memorized 50 years ago in youth group, artificial hips forgotten, goofy hats or wives whipped up last night slipping from their hairless scalps. Food stamp moms grow tired of canned veggies and longing for farmers markets to make macaroni poster art with their youngins. Dressed in the best team colors Walmart and the Goodwill had to offer. As Marcia sings the hymns and claps her hands, the spirit comes alive like an orange flame somewhere deep